So let's go ahead and get started finding our seat, any shape that you would like to begin today. Maybe tucking chin down towards collarbone, creating that length in the back of the neck. Drawing in that nice big breath. And then releasing everything you are not going to need for your practice here. Just noticing what's showing up for you here. Taking several breaths to become very still on your mat. And then go ahead and bring your hands behind your head, interlace your fingers, and let the elbows fall down. So chin is still working towards the chest. Elbows come towards each other, but you don't have to pull them in. Just let gravity do the work, and let the hands and the arms kind of add that gentle traction on the head, creating that nice length in the back of the neck. This is a really good indication of your posture during the day. If you feel this light up down your whole back, maybe you might want to consider moving around a little bit more. And then go ahead and inhale, lift up with the head, open up the elbows out to the side, and maybe even lift the heart up towards the ceiling, kind of where your wall would meet the ceiling there. And then as we exhale, we're just going to come back down, hollow out the belly, squeeze the elbows together, create that little ball shape. And then inhale, lift up and open. And then last one, everything comes down, create that little ball. And then inhale all the way up. Open up the elbows, open up the heart. So see if you can keep your heart lifted as you release the hands and bring them around behind you. And just place the fingers so that they're facing kind of the front of your body, so they're facing forward. And release the legs for wherever you were. Taking a few windshield wipers here through the knees, but keep the elbows back behind you and the shoulder blades squeezing together. So it's a gentle stretch for the biceps, the upper arms, maybe even a little into the delts as we sway a little side to side. Good. And then walk your feet as close as you can to yourself. Bring the arms around the front of the legs, maybe grabbing onto opposite elbows here. If you can't get opposite elbows, you can grab the fingers. So whatever works for you. And then just drop the forehead down onto the knees if that works for you, and create that little ball shape. Take a breath here, kind of curling in on yourself. Should feel really nice along the upper back. And then go ahead and release. So it doesn't matter which way you're facing. I'm going to face so that you can see me. We're coming to my pretzel seat or your Z sit. So right leg, just so that we can all be on the same page, right leg is going to go in front of you. The shin is parallel to the edge of your mat. And then the left leg is going to fold behind you. So you don't want that leg folding too tightly. That's not great on the knee. You want kind of a series of 90-degree angles, right? So the left shin is facing the left edge, the right shin is facing the right edge. Your left hip is going to come off the floor slightly, but that's okay because we're going to kind of work into that. Bringing your left hand down to the hip crease, and this might be enough. You might be feeling this, like I'm super feeling this right now. Hand on the hip, and then bring that right arm up and over. So you're just going to lean towards that left leg, or whichever leg it is that's reaching behind you. So using the hand is just gentle pressure. If it's awkward with the hand, or you can just do the same thing with the elbow. And keep the elbow right in front of you, so whatever works. And then keep trying to spin that right arm up as you lean over towards the left. It's gently pushing that left hip down towards the mat. And then if this is too much, you won't come down so far. You're just going to work towards it. Nice. And then we're going to release, taking the whole shoulder position towards what is the front of your mat, and then coming down either onto forearms, and that left hip is going to come way up off the mat, probably. Maybe interlacing the fingers and dropping down. This is going to stretch out through kind of the flank area in that left hip. You want your shoulders to be square on the mat. And then as you start to warm up into this shape, maybe getting a little deeper, you might come down onto forearms if you're not already there. Maybe stacking. I really like this one to give you kind of a little bit of lift. You stack the fists on top of each other and use that to catch your head. If you don't need that, you can just come down to the tops of the hands. And we're going to be here for a few rounds of breaths. So just let everything kind of open up here. Notice if you're holding any muscle tension anywhere, and just let that relax if you can. Last breath. Let everything that you don't need just go. And start to walk yourself back up out of this shape. And then for convenience, we're just going to go right to the other side. So left leg goes across the front, right leg goes behind you. The more you flex through your feet, the more it protects your knees. Right hand goes on the right hip, and then left arm reaches up. And maybe as you fold over towards the right, you might feel that opening through that outer hip. Maybe even these outer ribs start to feel a little stretched. And again, if this does not feel good, you can bring that hand down or just reach it straight up. Come to that elbow. So think about your rolling over like a beach ball here. Maybe look up. This is not an easy stretch, so don't worry if it's creating a shortness in breath. Probably can't hear, but my breath is really choppy in this shape. All right, all the way down, turning towards the back of the mat, coming down maybe to forearms, dropping the head. Perhaps if you came all the way down on the other side, you might come down on the side. And then once you find your shape, you can release through the feet and the legs. Let them just be heavy. The floor will hold you. If it doesn't, I think you have bigger problems. Think about finding a nice softness here in your shapes today. Maybe not expecting anything of your practice, kind of letting that be a lesson. Don't expect anything, just see what happens. And then go ahead and walk the hands up. And we're going to come whatever way is front for you. Find your way towards the front of the mat and work your way into a tabletop shape. So hands and knees, just to find a little bit of movement here. Take your knees a little bit wider than hip width, hands a little bit wider than shoulders, and we'll do that kind of side to side cat cow. So bring your right shoulder to your right hip, your left shoulder to your left hip, and back and forth, because we already opened up into some of those obliques. And then using your breath, create that cat shape, Halloween kitty, push into the mat, exhale out, and then inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, round. And then this time, when you lift the heels or lift the feet right off the mat and bring your heels towards your seat. So you're really, really lifting up and arching through the back. You'll notice it's a deeper back bend. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. You can lift those feet if that feels good. If that doesn't feel good, you can keep those feet right on the ground. And then round. Let's find our way back to our child's pose. Knees nice and wide, big toes touch. Sit the hips down towards the heels. Forehead comes to the mat. And then on this one, bring those elbows next to the head, hands together overhead, and fingertips reach behind you. If the floor is too far, you can prop your head on a pillow or a block. Hands come out in front. Let's find our way back to that tabletop shape. Extend your right leg long behind you. Flex through the foot and hold this shape. So you can hang out right here. If this is enough, if you're feeling that core, belly button zipping in, nice length from shoulder to hip, or you can extend that left arm long. The right toes can curl under, they can be flat on the floor. It's entirely up to you. Nice. And then left hand comes down, right foot or right knee comes down, left leg extends towards the back of your mat. Flex the foot, heel pushes away, and then maybe you can just come up to fingertips on that right hand and walk them forward. That's like first step for balance. Or if you're really feeling it, you can float that hand off the mat, palm faces towards the midline. Nice. Zip up the belly here. Just a little bit of engagement through the back body, waking it up. Good. Bring that right hand down and just step that left foot in between the hands. So you're just going to push that foot down towards the mat, create a nice low lunge, and reach the arms all the way up. Interlace the fingers overhead and release the index and thumb. Maybe look up and then sink down into this shape. Should feel kind of juicy. And then go ahead and bring the hands down either side of that front foot, slide back, peel the toes off the mat, and find a flat back first. So stay up a little bit high here. If you have this shape, you might push that heel away from you and maybe then fold down over the leg. So if you're not feeling that, you can sit a little bit further back and maybe a little bit higher, as long as you feel that stretch in the front of the leg. Nice. All right. And then left foot comes back to the mat. Spin that right foot behind you so it's perpendicular. And then we're just going to windmill into what would be a warrior two if we were up on our feet. And you're looking over your front leg, whatever that leg is. And I positioned myself wrong, so you're looking at the back of me. But you get the idea. So we're going to just push open this left knee as you reach over the foot. So your fingers should be just about in line with your toes. And this hand is kind of anchoring you back here. And then we're just going to release this with a nice reverse. Right hand slides down. Maybe you touch the floor, maybe not. And then that left arm goes up. Both hands windmill down either side of that left foot and just step back into your tabletop shape. So let's get into that back one more time. Walk the knees closer together this time. Hands are exactly underneath your shoulders. Right foot reaches behind you. Toe points this time. Nice. And zip that up. You can keep both hands on the mat, or you can float that left arm. And then maybe just lower that right leg down, tap the floor, and lift it right back up. So again, if you have a shiny surface that you can look at to see, make sure that your foot is not coming over your hip and creating that arch in your back. lower, lift, lower, lift. Last one, hold. Both hand and knee come down. Left leg reaches behind you. Push away from the mat. Create that nice tight belly. Reach the right arm forward. Tap the toes, lift, tap. There you go. 3. Nice. And just keep breathing through it. You have 2. And last one. Hold here. Toe floats off the mat. Try not to arch into the back. Keep a nice flat back here. Zip up the belly. And then both knees, both hands come down. Step that right foot through. Find your way to that nice low lunge. Heel stacks up under the knee and reach both arms up towards the sky. Interlace the fingers. Release the index and the thumb. Look up. Nice. Sink low. I'm only 1 cup of coffee in so far this morning, guys, so words are not my friend. Nice. Go ahead and release. Back out of it slightly. Peel the toes off the mat. And then if you need a deeper stretch, that right foot goes forward. If you don't want a deeper stretch, keep that foot right where it is and hinge over the leg from there until you find your stretch. The more you engage through that quad muscle, so that thigh on that right leg, the deeper the stretch along the back of the leg. Beautiful. And then release. Let's find that wonky warrior 2. So make sure heel lines up with your knee. Spin the foot behind on that left leg. And then windmill the hands open. So the deeper you sink in to this leg, the more you're going to open up this inner thigh. So if that's your target, go right ahead. If you really just want to get a full leg workout here, just keep sliding that knee back so that you're one long line. Nice. And then maybe reverse. Look down, reach up. Beautiful. And then windmill those hands. We're going to come actually all the way up. So curl those toes under on that back foot, lift the knee off the mat and step forward into a forward fold here. So as wide as you like through the legs. So like yesterday's class, we had that block. You're keeping kind of that same distance, but really engaging through the legs, squeezing them to each other, which will light up the whole leg, but creating just that little bit of space there. Maybe bending the knees, very much an active stretch. Good. Heel toe those feet so that they're together, and then sitting down. Keep the heels on the mat as long as possible, coming into your squat, which is not very long for me. And then when you need to, lift those heels off the mat, keep the feet squeezing towards each other, and maybe floating into our little toe stand here. See, it's okay to fall out of it. Working to stack the shoulders over the hips, which is where the work happens here in this shape. Ooh-wee. Nice. Coming all the way down, use your hands all the way onto your seat. Nice. And a seated figure 4 now. So make sure that you've got some room here to work with. We're starting with the right leg, cross the right leg over the left, create that figure 4. Everybody's favorite pose to hate. So it's like pigeon without all the extra weight here. You can hang out here. If you have the space, you might slide closer to that foot. If you really want a nice deep stretch from all of that outer thigh work we did yesterday, or maybe you went for a nice long walk or a run or something, you can, and you have the shape, you can always take this into a balanced shape. Wrap the elbow of the left arm around the sole of the foot and the elbow of the right arm around the knee, and then you can drop that left leg. So if you take this shape and all of a sudden you curl, then come back to your figure 4. But if this bind helps to create a deeper stretch for you, then go ahead and take it. Whatever works. Sitting up nice and tall, relax your shoulders. So this is a great shape if you struggle with the traditional pigeon. This one's a really nice alternative. Very good. All right, so just go ahead and grab onto the arch of that foot with the right hand. So same foot, same hand, and extend that leg nice and long. We're going from outer hip to back of the leg again, reaching nice and long. This bottom leg can come down to the mat. If you have the space, you can grab onto the big toe. Not gonna be here too long. Nice. And then crossing both legs, left heel comes to right heel comes to left hip, finding our little eagle shape. And then we're back to those outer legs again, outer thighs. Reach your arms out in a nice T shape, right arm underneath left, and taking the twist maybe through the wrists. So you're stacking your elbows, you're bringing the backs of the arms together, and then you're hooking your fingers over your thumb. So everything's in line. I'm kind of wonkadoodle on the camera here, but everything's in line with the midline. The elbows and the knees are in line. Your hips are both square. And then from here, most of us, this is enough. You don't need any more. This is a great immune system shape. You're squeezing all of those lymph nodes, all those glands that hold the yucky stuff. And then if you want more, you hook the elbow outside of the knee and create kind of that ball that we did at the beginning of class. This is also great for just circulation in general. Doesn't feel like it at the moment, I know. Go ahead, unwind, unravel, unhook the legs. Bring your fingers again behind you to face the front. Let's find these little windshield wipers. If you're looking for more core out of your class today, lift those toes and turn it into a yoga can. All side to side. Nice. Feet down, finding your seat. Let's create that figure 4 on the other side. So left leg comes across the top, and then maybe this is it. Maybe this side is different than the other one, and you hang out here. Take a few rocks side to side. That feels super awesome. If you did it on the other side and want to stay even, you can walk the heel closer, bringing the hands closer, sitting up nice and tall. So I definitely feel it way more on this side. And then if you really want to, you hook the elbow around the foot, other elbow around the knee, interlace the fingers in front, and slide that right leg long. This is called cradle the baby. If you can't reach the hands together, you can do the same thing by just holding onto the foot and the knee, or just keeping that knee placed there. So the bind that you take, this kind of creating this energy lock, is really good for just deepening the stretch. Maybe shaking the head, finding any kind of gentle movement that feels really good. Tune into your breath. Did it get really choppy? Did you forget about it? All right, we're releasing, maybe grabbing onto the arch of the foot or peace fingers around big toe, and then reach that right arm or right leg out, left leg out and open, finding your way into that nice half V-sit. And then releasing that left leg on top of the right, finding your way to that eagle on the other side. Go Moogasana. So ideally you want the knees to be stacked on top of each other. If you're really tight through the hips, that's not going to happen for you today. Just try to get them as close as possible. Sit up nice and tall. Right arm under left this time. Fold the elbows up. Wrap the wrists again, and then hook the finger over the thumb. So you'll see everything's kind of one line here. And then this is probably enough. There's a lot going on in this shape. Are you favoring that left hip and starting to become like the leaning tower of Pisa there? Squeeze that back down. Lift the elbows, hook over the knee, and find that fold if it works for you. Good. Go ahead and unhook the elbows, unravel, find your way to those little yoga cans or windshield wipers, whatever you need to do here to find that nice, easy side to side. Nice. Good. We've wrung just about everything out. So now we're going to head down towards our backs. So make sure you have room on your mat, coming all the way down and lowering to the mat. Keep the left leg on the mat, right knee comes in towards the heart space. So wrapping the fingers around the shin, just give it a nice tug. Take some ankle circles if that feels right. Point and flex, whatever feels good. And then yogi's choice, if you have the room, you'll grab the bottom of the foot. I don't think that's gonna work today. If not, you can grab behind the leg, whatever works for you. We're just trying to extend through that right leg, create some space here. So again, I know I say it all the time, but lower back pain almost always comes from either tight hamstrings or tight hip flexors. So either the back of your leg or the front of your leg is too tight. Unless you have, like a condition in the back pain is almost never back pain. It's usually about something else. Nice. So go ahead and take that left hand onto the outside of that right leg anywhere you can and take a nice twist across the body. We're going to hold this twist for a while. So if you have trouble getting that foot to the floor, bend the knee or even bring it to a block and reach the right arm out long. Or the dog works really well for that one, or the coffee table. Out over the right shoulder. Close the eyes, maybe. Let the jaw be very loose here. Using your hands to help you go ahead and unravel this twist. So maybe bringing the feet to the mat, lifting the hips and kind of swaying from side to side so you can recenter. So draw that right knee in, extend that, or left knee in, extend that right leg long. Taking those fidgets, maybe pointing and flexing. Give that knee a nice squeeze. Flex the foot, perhaps. Maybe you reach down and grab onto the foot and extend that leg. Again, if that's not working, you have the calf area behind the knee, behind the thigh. If you come to these shapes and you're like judging that you can't do what you want to do, or you think you should be able to go deeper, just remember that flexibility takes a long time. And every movement creates shorter sarcomeres or shorter muscles. So you have to keep stretching them over and over and over again. Also remember that overstretching them is not good, because they don't tend to regain their shape if you overstretch. All right, taking that twist over towards the other side, being careful not to judge one side against the other. Your body is different. Maybe you need to bend the knee on this one to find a deep stretch. Maybe you need to create a little bit of weight on the leg. Whatever calls to you here, you're just trying to enjoy this stretch. Without becoming too overly invested in what's going on, just notice. I'll take about 5 more deep breaths in the shape, or as deep as you can get in a twist. Remember to come back to that nose breath. Inhale all the way through the nose, and then release everything out. In through the nose, out through the nose. And then go ahead and unwind, unravel your shape, come back. Find maybe some gentle windshield wipers here. And then we're going to take the first part of our meditation in our Shavasana shape. So extending your legs long down the mat. Letting your hands either resting on your belly or on by your sides, wherever it feels good. Whatever helps you to stay very much in tune with your body. And take the first several rounds of breath to simply observe. Notice how your breath is coming and going. The length, the pattern. And then as you inhale, feel yourself fill all the way up with the energy that comes with breath. When you exhale, you're going to hang on to that energy and let go of everything else. Repeating that, inhaling that prana, we call it energy, until eventually exhaling everything else, and you have just the breath left. So letting go of your to-do list, letting go of your attachment to how this shape feels for you here. Pushing away any thoughts that pop into your mind mind does not appreciate a vacuum. It will always try to fill that space. And now just allow your breath to come as it will. So allowing yourself to be breathed here. Bringing all of your focus to your toes, scrunching them up, scrunching up the feet nice and tight. And then as you exhale, release the muscles in the feet. Bringing the toes back towards the face, engaging through the calf muscles. If you know another way to engage them without that, go right ahead. And then as you exhale, release the calf muscles. Let the feet be heavy. Moving up the legs, thinking about the area just above the knee, engaging. That'll light up your quads, engages the whole front of the legs. Your feet might even come off the floor. And then exhaling, softening the legs back down to the floor. Bringing your hands to your belly, engaging through that belly area, creating that nice taut muscle there. And then as you exhale, softening, releasing, hips become heavy on the mat. Moving up the torso as you inhale, filling all the way up into the lungs, expanding through the ribs, creating that big open space. And then release everything out, creating that softness in the whole torso. Your body is very heavy on the mat. Taking your hands, making a fist, curling the fingers in, wrapping the thumb around the top. Nice big fist. And then releasing the fingers, letting them fall back to your belly or to the floor. Inhaling, drawing the shoulders up towards your ears, creating some nice tension in the shoulders. And then as you exhale, sliding the arms back down, shoulder blades slide down your back. Bringing your awareness to your face, your head, creating a scrunchy face, maybe even fish face to go along with it. And then as you exhale, release all of that facial tension. Let the jaw fall open. Tongue falls away from the roof of the mouth. Just let yourself be breathed here. Slowly walking your feet to the mat. Maybe drawing your knees in so that you can grip behind. And either rolling over towards the side or pulling yourself up, finding your way towards these seats. Taking your time to find this shape. Letting your hands rest on your knees. As you work all of your awareness to your breath, let every sensation that is not your breath fall away. Clenching of muscles falls away. Thoughts in your mind falls away. Notice the softness and ease throughout your whole body. Like most things in life, you need opposites to understand. You needed to engage those muscles to feel them release. You need to return to the breath to find that softness. What does it look like in a world where you have the ability to create the sensation you need in the moment? If you need to relax, you know what that feels like. If you have energy that needs to burn, you know how to make that happen. If you're hungry, you know how to feed that. If you're full, you know what to do. What does it look like in a world where you take the cues that your body gives you and you act in the moment instead of on what you think you need or what you should need? Because why not? You're the one living in your body. You're the one that knows the sensations. You won't always get it right. It won't always be perfect. But every choice is the opportunity to learn. Bringing your hands to your heart space, crossing perhaps right over left. Tucking chin in towards collarbone, not too tight, but just enough to create that length in the back of the neck. Tuning heart space. Feeling the sensations that happen to be there. The sensations that are associated with there. Calm, content, whatever it be. Bringing hands to heart center if you choose, maybe bowing your head if you like, as we start to come back to our awareness of the world around us, knowing that we have the ability to create the sensations that we need. We are in control regardless of what modern expectations are. We are in charge. Thank you for joining me on the mat this morning. Have a fabulous midweek here. It is the middle of the week, I promise. Talk to y'all later. Have a great day. Namaste.